I'd say today more than quarter of a million eyes see through clearly through Specscart glasses. So yeah, it's like footwear got a chance to become a part of fast fashion, right? We wear different pairs of shoes when we're going to the gym, different pairs of shoes when you're playing cricket, different pairs of shoes for football. Why same pair of glasses? So again, there's a gap in the market, and this is primarily because one company owns nearly 70% of our industry.
So if this company was to come over to you and be like, we'll buy you out,
Yeah.
would that be something you consider?
No, because the purpose of our existence is to change the industry. If we can change the industry, if we don't change the industry, then we are purposeless. So we first need to achieve our purpose, we first need to achieve our mission, and there are no plans like that. And why would we want to do the same thing that everybody else has done than just destroy the world? So I'm Siddharth Sethi, Managing Director and founder of Specscart. Specscart today is one of the fastest growing eyewear businesses in the UK. And we are changing the way people perceive eyeglasses. So to us, glasses are not just an instrument of sight correction. They're a fashion accessory that is a true joy to wear. And what I noticed and why I founded the business, I think I'll go back 6 years ago. I was in university, broke my last pair of glasses 2 days before my corporate accounting exam. And just like any international student would do, I asked around, where should I go? And they said, go to the city center to all these big name chains. And what I saw over there was all optical stores. They look like a GP surgery or like a dental practice. So the whole layout was very clinical. And then if I wanted to try a pair of glasses, they were all locked behind rails. So if you want to try something on, you'll have to call the sales assistant. You want to try this one? Again, sales assistant will open this rack. So glasses aren't jewelry. So why was that happening? And I had a friend of mine who didn't needed prescription glasses, but he didn't even bother to try anything on. Not even sunglasses over there. The third thing, again, because it was a necessity, I had to buy them. One, the price was somewhere between 200 to 300 pounds for the anti-glare ones. And if I'd wanted to go for a designer frames, they were 600, 700 pounds. Now back then, iPhones used to cost the same amount. So how can glasses and iPhone cost the same amount? So like that's strange. So I paid it on my credit card so that I can pay it off slowly, because as a student I couldn't afford the bill. And they said I'll get it in 3 weeks' time. So my exam was 2 days later. So I thought, okay, so is this the reason why people do not have various pairs of glasses? It's like we have various pairs of shoes. So like you wouldn't wear the same pair of shoes in the gym, right? Why would you wear the same pair of glasses? So I thought if I wanted to do something, I needed to improve price and quality, number one, the user experience, and turnaround time. So today, if you go at Specscart, we're the direct producers, we make glasses in the UK. We're 70% less than High Street. If you want to buy anything, you place the order, you'll get it within 24 hours. So if you place an order on a Saturday, you'll have the pair on Sunday with prescription. If you want to try something on, there's a service that we have introduced called free home trial. So you can pick 4 frames, we'll ship it to you, no charge whatsoever. You can try them on for 7 days, show it to your friends and family, take their opinion, send it back. If you like anything, buy. If you don't like anything, do another home trial. So that's where we are at. So far, we have delivered glasses to 130 countries, free worldwide shipping. And yeah, it's good. Business is going good for us.
Wow. How long have you been trading?
6 years.
6 years. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you've grown a lot in those 6 years.
Yeah, we have about 89% average YOY growth year on year. So by almost 90%, we are growing year on year from inception to now.
And you have, so how many clients have you had, or how many glasses have you delivered?
I'd say today more than quarter of a million eyes see through clearly through Specscart glasses. So yeah.
So glasses don't need to be that expensive.
Exactly. So you can you can buy a pair of glasses on average starting from $29.99. Anti-glare, anti-scratch, and all the bells and whistles are included, free of charge. Next day delivery, free of charge. So we've just made simple. They shouldn't be like, oh, if this is the frame, then the lenses cost a fortune, then the delivery costs a fortune, and then you end up paying 500 pounds. Why? So again, we're trying to solve that, because that's why people will have multiple pairs of glasses.
Why do you care about solving this problem?
Because again, it's like footwear got a chance to become a part of fast fashion, right? We wear different pairs of shoes when we're going to the gym, different pairs of shoes when you're playing cricket, different pairs of shoes for football. Why same pair of glasses? So again, there's a gap in the market, and this is primarily because one company owns nearly 70% of our industry. So they have controlled the industry from its inception. They own retail chains, they own factories, so they own prices. And again, there needs to be an innovation. It's like if Pepsi wouldn't come in, then Coca-Cola wouldn't innovate and bring out, like competitive drinks. So competition is needed, and that's why we think it's important for people to express themselves, and the things should advance. Like, let's say when I said, why do we offer free anti-glare? So back then, if you, let's say 20 years ago, if you'd buy a phone, you'd have QWERTY keypad. Today, if you'd buy a phone, all the phones have touchscreen, right? Because it's cheaper to produce touchscreen. In our industry, it's the same with anti-glare. It was discovered 20 years ago. Why are we still giving cheap, nasty plastic lenses to people and asking for 40 pounds on top when we can produce it for less? So again, I think it's important to change people's perception. It's important for people to express themselves, and yeah, that's why we exist.
It's greed.
Yeah,
It's just greed, isn't it?
greed in a sense, not greed in general. It's I'd say, you know, if you have multiple pairs of shoes, why would you have multiple pairs of shoes? Because each pair of footwear gives you has a different utility. So why would you not have sports glasses? So it's not, I wouldn't say greed, I'd say more utility.
As it knows, in from the perspective of, you said that company that owns 70%,
Yeah.
and they've never passed down the cost savings to.
That's true. They are gigantic. You're looking at 56 billion pound turnover. They'll come and buy all sorts of companies. But again, we want to be innovative. We want to, bring in new products. For example, if even in eyewear industry, it's like we sell glasses, we sell sunglasses, we even do ski goggles, and you can have prescription in ski goggles. So again, we want to innovate and push the entire industry forward, and they are not. They're, of course, they're greedy. They control the entire industry. They come and buy you the minute you have a solid turnover. But for us, it's what happens then is less choice for the customer. That's what happens in a monopoly. The customer in the end suffers. So we are trying to, make it accessible for the customer and trying to do our part by moving the industry forward.
So if this company was to come over to you and be like, we'll buy you out, would that be something you consider?
No, because the purpose of our existence is to change the industry. If we can change the industry, if we don't change the industry, then we are purposeless. So we first need to achieve our purpose. We first need to achieve our mission. And there are no plans like that. And it's, why would we want to do the same thing that everybody else has done? Then just destroys the purpose.
Yeah, I love that. So what's the 5-year plan then? Where are you hoping to
I want to take over the world of eyewear. We've sold glasses to 130 countries. We are doing it all from our UK HQ, which is in North Manchester. We make glasses here. So we want to expand to global markets, States, Middle East. These are emerging markets for us. We get a lot of traffic on our e-commerce platform from them. A lot of people love Specscart over there. So we want to have our facility over there as well, so we can sell glasses over there and deliver them within 24 hours. We want to. There's a lot of friction in eyewear retail as well. You first book an appointment, go to an optician's, get an eye test done, then you have your prescription, then you place an order. So there's still a lot of innovation needed, and we need to remove all this friction. So one is expansion. And with that expansion, we want to eliminate all the friction which is there. So probably in 5 years' time, it's as easy to buy a pair of glasses as it is to buy a pair of shoes or a t-shirt. So I want this one, beep, 50 pounds, boom, done. So it should be that easy. and let's see if we can do that. I'm sure I've got a great team, and we will achieve our mission.
Amazing. And would the younger version of you have expected that you'd be in this position doing what you're doing right now?
I'd say, I wanted to be even bigger, and I'd say, constantly think about growing more each day. So yeah, it was. I've always dreamed higher, and I've had a struggling story in the past. So maybe not as it is right now, but I'd want to be bigger, uh, to prove my younger self that I chose the right path.
And do you mind touching on that story a little bit? Just because I feel like with a lot of the founders, where they are now and what they're doing now, it is because of what they've been through and their past experiences. Would you mind touching on them a little bit? Yeah.
You very rightfully said, most people only see final product of a successful entrepreneur or a successful business. What most don't see is the heartaches, the empty bank accounts, the time when you think about quitting every day, but you don't, because you're purpose driven, because you want to achieve your mission. So in my case, when I started up, again, well, I left my job. I was ironing suits at a menswear company. I I went to China to see where frames are made, traveled there, stayed there for 3 months, learned how do big companies do it, what are the true costs of the product. With the savings from my first job, ordered a few samples that I thought I'll just take pictures and put it on the website. That sample delivery I took in a tiny flat, which is above an estate agent's in Manchester, not the best flat to take your first delivery. And then, whilst I was working on the website, I thought, how do I pay for my food? So what I did was took those samples in my car, travel around the country to all the independent opticians, and ask them if they want to buy my stock and sell it, just so that I can pay for food on the table. And yeah, that was hard time. But what that did was I learned everything that was happening in the industry, because I'll probably knock doors in all possible shops. And a lot of times, people you're a sales rep, and they'll just say, get out. So, but you learn from those experiences, you learn what they were doing. Like I used to see someone, you usually go into an optician and some lady with a massive diary, or you can get an appointment in 3 months' time. So I saw where the gap was, and from that learning, today all our stores are something called smart retail. There's no, paper or anything like that. Our stores are very modern, nothing like you'd expect in an eyewear store. Whilst you're waiting for an eye test, you can play a game of bar football. So again, that is from those learning. I've painted. Then I applied for an awards in the University of Manchester. They gave us a free retail shop. So I thought it's better to trade from there than my own flat. I painted the store, kitted out with myself and my mom, and yeah, saved almost every single penny initially. And I think from that time, starting individually to now having a team of 50, I think we've come a long way. And I think it's one of those things, like you said, nobody would realize that time, but that is there in entrepreneur's journey, and it's there for a reason. It's there for a reason. It tells me that was hard. This might be a different variation of changes, but when you don't have food on the table, when you don't have money for survival, that is the hardest time. This might be a different challenge. Oh, I'm overwhelmed, I've got so many things to do, and I have to get the new product launches and deadlines and everything. Yeah, that is a challenge, but that's starting up. I think that's the hardest part.
And anyone watching this that might have a dream or an idea, and they don't know how to get started, is there any advice that you could give to them?
I think there's when you think of starting a business, and a lot of people say, oh, I don't have money. I think money is one thing, but more importantly is passion. I think that is a bigger currency than money. Because if you don't have passion and you'll get started, you'll probably fold anyway because it's so difficult. I think if you have passion, then even if you don't have money, you'll figure something out because you're so driven, and you'll probably find out a way to make things happen. For example, I built site myself. I built the shop by just painting and getting things myself, and probably finding companies which were closing down, and getting their free furniture and things like that. Those things can happen even without money. But what can't happen is those days when you're like, I used to do car leafleting on cars, windscreen wipers, when, to get footfall through the door, and doing this door knocking and sales repping around the country. That can't happen if you don't have passion. So if you want to start a business, you should be passionate about the idea, and don't worry about money. And there's this fancy thing about funding and all sorts, but if you start selling, then you'll have money anyway. So you'll figure out a way to make it. But passion is the most important thing.
Passion before money.
Yeah, passion before money.
Are there any like common misconceptions that people have about starting a business? For example, like the whole money thing, like, you need money to start a business and have a business. Are there any other misconceptions that?
Yeah, one misconception is money, that is the only way. And another misconception is to have a perfect thing ready. I think you can never be perfect. Like our website can never be perfect, or there's always a way to improve our platform. So sometimes you might have an MVP, trust your MVP, roll it out. Speed is more important than, I'd say, perfection. And especially in today's age, I think 2026 is going to be all about speed. So whoever's the fastest will win the race. That doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah, I think that's the trouble when someone has a good idea. You can have the best idea, but they just sit on it because it's not perfect yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to just get out there and.
100% agree. I think even sometimes you might have a prototype ready, launch it, and see how the customers react. Just do it. Don't sit on it, and that'll probably give you a better outcome than waiting and making it perfect.
Amazing. And you personally, what's the kind of impact that you want to have on the world? What's the kind of impact that you want to leave on the world?
I'd like to see the industry move forward to what we're doing. For example, if you order a pair of shoes, you'll get it through Amazon Prime next day. If you order a pair of glasses, why is that you want to wait for, people have to wait for 3 weeks? And let's say, why today, even today, we are offering 20-year-old products in our industry. If we do that, then I think the customer's perception will change. If that happens, then yeah, mission accomplished. I'd like to leave that impact in the eyewear industry if I've worked in it.
Amazing. My final question. I've got a magic mic.
Yeah.
And if I give you this mic, wherever you speak into it, the whole of society is able to hear.
Right.
What is your message to the world?
In today's day and age, especially in the UK, if you're buying glasses anywhere else from Specscart, I'd say just check us out. Just have a look at it. Have a look at our prices. Have a look at our Trustpilot rating. Have a look at the services. They're made in the UK, delivered to you within 24 hours. Quality British craftsmanship. I think just check us out and then make your decision. And I think you'll make the right one if you check us out.
So that's from a business perspective. What about from your own personal perspective? Any message
that I'd want
that you want to leave to the world? Yeah. Or any advice that you can give to someone who might be listening? It doesn't have to be about business.
Okay. I'd say work hard every day, learn from a proven mentor every single day. Keep the hustling up every day, and keep doing all the work that you're doing, even if you think like quitting every day. Yeah. So that's my message. Yeah.
Amazing, Sid. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.